If you've been following Hoax Wars for the last little while, if you're up to date, you're familiar with Ed Stairs, in the Ed Stairs case. And Ed is the guy who, he's like a second level connection to Sewertown. We all know Angela G. Angela G is a prominent member of Sewertown, Jesse Davis, all those people. One of Angela's best friends is Ed Stairs. Ed Stairs was arrested in a CP raid. And this information came out last year, a little over a year ago. And it basically has caused like a civil war in the pred catching community where you have the people who decided to stick by Ed, even though he's in the pred catching community and he made his name off of basically a logging catcher and trying to take a catcher down, Tommy from Colorado Ped Patrol, who was on our Christmas show. And we're fans of Tommy. We like Tommy. And this guy has been going after Tommy like relentlessly, trying to take him down. And then it comes out that he was arrested in a CP raid. It was literally a raid on his house because of a tip to law enforcement from NCMEC, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. There was a tip to law enforcement such that they raided his house. But his brother lived there at the time, and I believe his mom too. And so Ed has kind of been able to exist still because everyone I think pretty much assumed his brother was the reason for the raid. That's what I thought anyway. And maybe that's still the case, but so that's the background. Recently, I've been made privy to and if you FOIA'd information about this case, all you would get back is some general information, nothing incriminating, but then they would say, we can't release much of this information because the case is still open. Edward's brother, the case is still open because during this raid, so they were raided for CP, right? So NCMEC, if you upload porn to a cloud service like Google Drive or Dropbox, they will tip off NCMEC. They will say, hey, one of our users is uploading child porn to our servers. Law enforcement might want to take a look at this. So they forward the request to NCMEC. NCMEC says, okay, this person, they look at the information, they say, okay, here's the IP address that uploaded this. It's in this state, Texas in this example. NCMEC will contact the Texas Attorney General and say, look, we found this Dropbox account. It seems to be linked to this address in your state, in this county. Here's the evidence. And so then it's up to law enforcement how to handle that. They ended up raiding because from the address where Ed was staying, there was an alert that there had been child porn uploaded to a cloud hosting, something like Dropbox or Google Drive. It was serious enough to where police raided the home. When they raided the home, they found meth. So Ed, his brother, and his mom were living at this house. They found the meth and they arrested Ed and his brother on the meth charges. And Ed even went to jail for it. And holy shit. I mean, okay. And I'm going to provide you guys the link to the document that was provided by law enforcement about this case. But there's a huge disclaimer and trigger warning. Every other sentence is a description of child porn, of child pornography. I mean, it's disgusting. It'll make you sick. It's awful. I mean, I had to just try to skim through it. and see what I could find. So I will paste the link. I'll pin the link to this chat for you guys. But there's like I said, a huge trigger warning. Like, do not click this link. I don't recommend clicking this link at all. Just for the record, don't do it. But if you are someone who is comfortable with this kind of material, you're not going to get triggered. You're not going to get violently angry. Just to give you an idea of what's involved in this document, but I'm providing it so that people can verify everything I'm saying. So let me pin that. And then I'll go through on stream the few parts that I picked out as being particularly interesting after this break. Like I said, thanks for being here, guys. I wish it were under more fun circumstances. I wish I didn't have to talk about this, but what am I going to do? So here we go. Here's the link. And that's I guess the primary reason for the stream tonight is to get this link out. And it's something that anyone can get. Like if you FOIA this information from the Texas AG, they will reply to you within 2 days. So by me providing this publicly, I'm going to get accused of doxing and all that shit, right? I've done my best to redact stuff that I'm going to show on stream. In this document, obviously nothing's redacted. Some stuff is, but the document that I'm going to pin is the same document you would get if you FOIA'd it from the Texas AG. They would get back to you in a couple days. So I'm not doxing. Like, what do you want me to do? I found out fucking a person in the orbit of this stream has some foul shit written about them in a police report. What am I going to do? Keep it to myself? I'm not trying to dox anyone. I don't care to dox anyone. I've never cared to dox anyone. That's what they will come back with. Let me get that out of the way up front. I feel like by providing this link publicly, all I'm doing is saving you guys time and saving time from law enforcement. They would have to dig this stuff up and re-provide it to every person who requested it. So I have to put a disclaimer to, like, literally, do not click this stuff if you have if you're squeamish in any way. If you are liable to be triggered, do not click this. It's fucking disgusting what's described in this document. I feel awful enough about just providing this document with the things described, having it on my computer, on my devices, let alone possessing the material that it describes. Okay, so I'm just going to write a disclaimer. Do not click this. Or yeah, I know, it's fucking sad as hell, man. It's just trigger warning. Do not click this link. It contains evil things, evil content. But if for some reason you have to, here's the link from the from the government. Here's the link from the government. Yeah. Don't feel compelled. Don't feel compelled to click this link. Actually, let me go through the screenshots I have. Then I'll post the link. And I'm not trying to start a witch hunt against anyone. Who knows? Maybe there's a perfectly rational, reasonable explanation for this. And of course, I believe in everyone being allowed the right to defend themselves. And I'll post the link for in the StreamYard for anyone who wants to talk, because yeah. Anyway, let's see where to start. Okay, so if you look through this document, and it's a big document. It takes a while to get through. Here's one of the pages. Ready? Okay. Account artifacts found on this device indicated the primary profile belonged to a user with an account name of Ed. Additional artifacts indicated the primary user of the device may have been Edward Stairs. The desktops for users Ed and Rich. So we're being totally fair to all, to all, potential situations. Ed and his brother both used this computer. The Rich account folder shows the last time the folder was modified was December 2015. The Ed account showed a last modified date of December 2019. Okay, so so Ed's brother last used this computer 2015, and Ed last used it 2019. And this is a computer, a desktop, compact Presario. Additional artifacts were recovered, indicating Edward Stairs as the likely primary user of this device. URLs were just recovered showing access to a Facebook account and a YouTube account. The Facebook activity listed the profile ID as Edward Stairs. The YouTube channel showed Edward S as the channel owner, with a logo similar to the logo used in the television show Sons of Anarchy. This logo was found on the mobile device. Email fragments from a Gmail account were recovered from unallocated space. One snippet references a YouTube channel and a video going live on that channel. The information specifically addressed Edward Stairs. A search on YouTube for Edward Stairs yielded a channel with the owner name of Edward S. The snippet also addresses a video called NINI. A video with that name was found listed on the channel. A second fragment referenced as resume submitted to, I should probably redacted that, submitted to blank for a project for a blank by a person using the name Ed. The pictures and video files were examined. $35,314 pictures and 270 videos were examined. Adult pornography was discovered. I'm not trying to embarrass him for anything he did that was legal. No child pornography was discovered. So that's fair. That's worth it to note. Like, out of 35,314 pictures that Ed had on his device, none of them were CP. In addition to the pictures and videos, documents were examined with no files of evidentiary files discovered, of evidentiary value discovered. The internet history was examined. Multiple browser applications were used: Chrome, Edge, Internet Explorer, Opera. Searches for onion sites were found in Google searches and Firefox session store artifacts. So they're getting into like some tech jargon. Don't worry about that part. I figure most people listening understand what a onion site is. It's what people refer to as the dark web, right? Accessing the Tor network using the previously noted browsers is normally not possible. Basically, what they're saying is there was an extension on this Firefox browser that allowed them to view these dark web sites. These extensions had been disabled, so law enforcement was not able to duplicate. They were not able to visit these onion files. But they go on to say, video screenshots of the wikis have been added to this report for reference. The red and green they list an onion site and they say these wiki sites included categories associated with child pornography. Erotic hard candy and erotic jailbait are terms generally associated with child sexual abuse. Both terms describe young juvenile girls that are attracted to older men. Access the link below for further information regarding hidden wikis. So that's pretty bad, right? They say, hey, here's this computer. We found the Sons of Anarchy, and someone saying, I'm going to go live on YouTube. The information specifically addressed Edward Stairs. And then they found this on this computer. Someone on this computer found a Google search, right? Searches for onion sites were found in Google searches and Firefox session store artifacts. Someone on this computer either Google searched or visited directly this onion site that is associated with erotic jailbait and erotic hard candy. After they identified that it belonged to Edward Stairs. Like I said, maybe there's a perfectly good explanation for all this. I'm not trying to crucify anyone unjustly. I'm just showing you guys what I found. Moving on. I wish that was all of it, This is in the police report too. Accounts artifacts found on this device indicated the device belonged to Edward Stairs. Reviewing the account information from the Google account showed Edward Stairs as the account holder. The mobile device phone number assigned was blank. According to a subpoena response from PayPal, this phone number was provided to PayPal on an account where Edward Stairs was the account holder. There's also a chat thread with a local user identified as Edward gave PayPal information to another user as blank. Also, a resume and a loan application were also found on the device. The resume showed Edward L. Stairs at blank address in the heading. The loan application was filled out and digitally signed by Edward Stairs. And they're saying all this to show why they believe that this device belonged to Edward. The pictures and video files were examined. And then they talk about some feature that they use so that they don't go looking through people's images that have nothing to do with people and CP. It's a privacy feature. A total of 13,896 pictures were examined. Both adult pornography and suspected child pornography were discovered within the evidence file and the device during a manual search. And then they go on to describe the path. So you see this blacked out part here. This is where they describe in detail what they found. And it's fucking disgusting. It'll make your stomach turn. I blacked it out for you guys. I would never show something like that on the stream. I'm going to post the document so you guys can verify for yourself if you want. I don't recommend anyone do that. Take my word for it. It's horrible. But if you have the stomach for it, that's where you can verify it if you doubt what I'm saying. 284 video files were examined. Videos of adult pornography and suspected child pornography were discovered. And they show this path, right? s7.zip/backup/SD card, Android data.com, Dropbox files, Scratch. I did some research and I found that directory refers to files go to that folder when you're on Dropbox on an Android phone and you favorite it, right? So if you're browsing Dropbox, there's like a little star. Every file you're looking at on Dropbox, there's a little star next to it, and you can click star and add that to your favorites. But if you add that to your favorites, it creates on Android, it creates a cached version of that. So Ed or whoever was using Ed's device at the time that this child pornography was viewed, they happened to hit the star button and say, oh, that's my favorite. And what that did, I'm sure unknowingly, is created a local copy of that file to the Android device, and that's what the cops found. For now, in the Dropbox app, there's no download option, but there's a favorite option. When you favorite something, it downloads this for offline use in the Scratch folder. So that's what happened. On Ed's device, these three child pornography files, and police found it. But why is Ed not being prosecuted for this though? Right? I mean, this is the police saying this. That leads us to the next screenshot here. And I'm sure, you know, Edward's name is Edward Leonard Stairs, and his brother is Richard Edward Stairs. And so when they write in the document Edward Stairs, it might be easy to be like, oh, when they say Edward Stairs, they mean his brother, right? But check this out. So it's like this sergeant was assigned NCMEC cyber tip line blank for, report X for investigation. This cyber tip line report involves the suspect uploading 62 files of apparent child pornography to a Dropbox account. A target location was identified, resulting in the execution of a residential search warrant. During the search warrant, numerous digital devices were seized. A forensic examination of those devices located 3 files of child pornography. The case was forwarded to Homeland Security for federal adoption. However, the files of child pornography that can be definitively linked to Edward Leonard Stairs does not meet the federal minimum required for prosecution. So in other words, correct me if I'm wrong, in other words, this Texas sergeant attempted to forward this case regarding Edward Leonard Stairs, as it explicitly states here. The sergeant attempted to forward information about Ed to the feds and Homeland Security, and the feds said, "Sorry, we can't do anything about it. He only has 3 files on his device." So there it is, It's fucked up.